Hey, everybody. Oh, there we go. Again, drop the phone. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. You know this guy right here. He is your reigning 212 Olympia champion, originally from Indiana, now living in the Sunshine State of Florida. Please welcome Derek Lunsford. What's up, Derek?
Hey, thanks for having me, Ron. It's been a minute, man. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, I should have gotten this back in early May because you were the #1 story for, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks, which was refreshing because, you know, we had so many terrible things happen. People were dying and those were like the big news stories. But then Pittsburgh Pro guest posing. I don't know how many guys were there. 7, I don't know, but they only talked about you because you just came out there looking freaking enormous. I think you later said, you know, that everyone always wants to speculate on your weight. And I think eventually you did reveal what you weighed, right?
Yeah. So at that show, or I should say, yeah, at the guest posing, I weighed right around 260, 250 to 255 to 260.
Wow. Because
yeah.
I remember a guest posing you did a couple of years ago where you were only like 240 or something and people were freaking out. And so this was like, you know, you've taken it to a whole other level. So big, so full, so round. And immediately they're talking about, you know, this is our next Mr. Olympia, not 212. They've got the Mr. in front of it, which means open. And, you know, we'll get into that. We have to. But, you know, were you surprised at the reaction you got from that guest posing? Because it was, I think within 2 hours of you stepping off that stage, there were hundreds of thousands of posts on Instagram and probably 1,000 or more videos on YouTube, people commenting on it. Did you think it was going to be that big a reaction?
No, honestly, I didn't. I mean, I didn't even know I was going to be truly guest posing until the night before. So I mentioned it on another podcast. I was like, yeah, I got the word from Jim Manion the night before. He's like, hey, you want to step on stage? You know, we could use another guest poser. And I was like, wow. I mean, I got my trunks. If you want me to get on there, sure, I'm prepared, you know? And so I told my wife, I was like, oh man, this could go one of two ways. You know, I'm up here with, you know, 3 of the top 5 of Mr. Olympia open guys. I was like, you know, I felt confident that I could, you know, put on a good show, and I knew I'd been training hard, and I was just there to have fun. You know, I knew that, you know, it was going to be exciting for everybody. It was fun for me, but definitely didn't expect the reaction that we got, which was, it's awesome. I love it whenever, you know, people stir hype in the sport. I'm a fan of bodybuilding, and, you know, I love it when you got, you know, like the Nick Walkers, the Blessings, the Ian Valliers, the Hunter, Big Ramy. I love the hype. So for me to be a part of it is super cool. And yeah, I'm just here to inspire people. And I know coming off last year's 212 Olympia win, like, how can I not be motivated to like want to make improvements and just be in the gym all day and just, you know, enjoy the process. You know, I got great supporters, whether it be my coach, fans and friends and family and wife. It's like all is well. So I'm happy, and I love this. And how can I not be motivated to want to get bigger and better?
Yeah, I want to ask you about the, you know, being Mr. Olympia always comes with a lot of responsibilities. You're supposed to be an ambassador and travel. And I think from your Instagram, you've been all over the place. So how busy has it been these last, what are we at, 8? It's been about 8, 9 months, right?
Dude, I've been everywhere. I swear, like literally I've been in like 3 states in 2 weeks, almost like constantly, like literally I'm like at an airport every other day, it feels like. So it's good, man. This is the time, especially to travel, because I'm not, you know, full prep mode or anything like that. And it's so cool to meet all the fans of bodybuilding around the country, around the world, and not just fans, but other bodybuilders who are aspiring to be where I'm at. Because, you know, not too long ago, that was me. And so it's just cool to build that camaraderie in the sport. You know, yeah, I'm, of course, being an ambassador of the sport, that's, you know, I'm aware of that, but I love it, man. Like this is what I was always meant to do, I feel like. So now I have the opportunity to do it, and I'm grateful, and I don't want to pass it up. But I am extremely, extremely busy, man. Like literally, people ask me, do you like living in Florida? And I'm like, man, it's like a vacation when I'm at home. So I'm only home for a few days and I'm gone again, you know? So it's nice, man. It's good. Lots of traveling.
Yeah, you know, speaking of Florida, I know Hani moved to Texas, which I never thought he would, but we talked a few weeks ago and he explained why. So that's his headquarters for Evogen. That's your sponsor. That's your coach.
Mhm.
Has there been any discussion about you moving to, was he in the Dallas area?
Yeah, so yeah, he moved to the Dallas area. I know he absolutely loves it. The whole team of Evagen loves being in Dallas now. I enjoy going to Dallas, but as far as moving, man, like
Yeah.
I'd rather hop on like a 2.5 hour flight and be there, and then come back to Florida, where I got a lot of people here too as well, and just I love the environment here. Probably too much to wanna move.
I mean, my daughter down there, my brother-in-law, I'm a son-in-law, not brother-in-law.
Yeah.
I think eventually the entire population of the United States is going to be in Florida at the rate we're going.
Dude, I not only has like Nick Walker, Kamal, and all these other top bodybuilders moved to Florida. I know Brett Wilkins, he's not moving to the Tampa area, but he's moving to Florida. I just saw him this past weekend in Denver at our Armbrust Pro Gym, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Phil Heath, another guy, he's moved to Florida. So
Really?
like Kai Green, he's in Florida.
Ian, Chris Bumstead, Melissa. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, this is the place to be, is Florida. But I don't know who started that. I know I came down in 2018. I know there's a ton of bodybuilders before that, but it just seems like everybody's flooding in. And I somehow convinced a ton of my friends from Indiana to move down here too.
Really?
So there's probably 8 or 10 of my friends that moved down from Indiana. So,
wow.
And I feel like all I've heard is this is the best decision that anyone's ever made. I know it is for me. I know it is for a lot of the people that are around me. So Florida is great, man. We love it here.
Yeah. Hey, your governor might be the next president too. Who knows? So,
hey, man, that's right. We got DeSantis over here, man.
Could happen. Stranger things have happened. All right, now I'm going to get right into it now because people are like, when's he going to start talking about it? So as soon as you guest pose, immediately everyone's like, he can't be 212 anymore. There's just no way. And I have to say that I've studied many videos where I think it was mostly Hani talking. You haven't really gone on record much, but nothing has ever been stated one way or the other as far as 212 or open. Am I right in that? Nothing has been said on camera or officially ever, right?
No, that's for certain, because honestly, like I'm still talking to Hani about it. Like I don't even know 100% which way. Like I'll tell you this, I'm going to be very straightforward with this question.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be open. Like I've always seen myself as an open guy. There's no question about that. You can probably go back to other interviews that I've done with you guys, and yeah, I've said that before. So the thing is, like I said, coming off the 212 title last year, immediately he was like, no, we are coming back to defend the 212 title. That's not even an option to go open. I was like, okay, gotcha. So for me, I don't know if I'm crazy or I just love it so much, but I'm obsessed with like being in the gym and training as hard as I can all the time and just making improvements. And like, I don't know, like I'm just so eager to make the most of every day, like make the most of every opportunity, that it's just hard for me to want to not do that. Right. So keeping in mind, I'm coming back to defend the 212 title. I'm in the gym training as hard as I can. I'm making improvements. I'm excited. Hani's happy. And then, the weight keeps coming up. He's like, hey, I need you to keep the weight down. I'm like, man, like if I keep training like this, I don't know what's going to happen, And so I think that's kind of where we're at right now. He's like, okay, you really need to make sure that your weight stays around that 250 mark or so. Like if we can get it down to 250 or keep it right around there, like, let's stay there. That way that we can still come to the 212 if we want to, or we're taking, here soon, he said, like, we're going to have to make a decision one way or the other. So.
Yeah, I don't want to sound butthurt, but a lot of videos have gotten a shit ton of views with clickbait titles like Hani Rambod says Derek is going open. And I watched the whole video. Yeah. He never said that, you son of a, it makes me mad when they do that because it's so deceptive.
You know what's crazy is I've seen both. Like I've seen people say like they've had clickbait where Derek confirms 212. When did I ever confirm that? And they used like an audio thing of like one of my Instagram lives that I did where I was saying like, hey, the plan's been to come back to defend the 212 title. And they're like, see, he confirms it. I was like, well, the plan is to do that, but if it's you got to make weight too. And then on the other hand, like you said, people are saying, oh, he confirms open. It's like, I said I want to, but I don't know. Like I have to listen to my coach. Like people is like, well, it's your career. It's this. I get that. I understand. But when you're following someone's plan, they're going to give you the plan that's going to end up you know, putting you where you're going to be. So it's like, okay, I can say, oh, I'm going open. And then all of a sudden we come down 212, or I can say 212, we go, it's like, I'm listening to Hani and like just enjoying bodybuilding, man.
See, the thing is, you know, when you turn pro 198.25 back in 2017, right? You had been a middleweight the year before at the USA, right?
So 2015, I was a welterweight. 2016, a middleweight. 2017 is when I won the USAs as a light heavy.
And, you know, then you won Tampa Pro 6 days later. I remember.
Yeah.
I was there. And I said, I don't know how long this guy's going to be at 212. You were only like 20, 24, 25 at the time.
Yeah, 24.
Just do the math and look at the last couple of years of progress. It's not like you're going to suddenly stop growing. You know, I see how hard you train, how much you love the sport. And then especially once you got with Hani and you started getting that bigger, fuller look, I said, I don't think it's just, you know, maybe he could still suffer down to 212 somehow, but how much muscle mass is he going to give up? Because looking at you at 260 on that stage, you know, I don't know what you would diet down to, but it would be more than 212. I feel like you would have to lose, I don't know how much, 10, 15 pounds of pure lean muscle tissue to get to 212. And why do that instead of, you know, you could be Mr. Olympia, Derek. And I'm not just blowing smoke out. I'm not kissing your ass. If I thought you could never be Mr. Olympia, I'd say, you know, it's not in the cards for you. I would be honest. You know, I've made a lot of enemies that way by being brutally honest, unfortunately, but I think you have all the tools. I think you have the structure. You know, what, you have to be 5'11" to be Mr. Olympia? Is that the rule or something? You know, we've had,
I don't know.
Dexter wasn't 5'11" for sure.
Yeah.
And that's fairly recent history. I mean, how much muscle have you gained? Because I don't see you making 212 unless you have to give up a big chunk of actual tissue, lean muscle.
Yeah, in no way, shape, or form have I ever looked like I did at the guest posing at 260, 255, 260. Like, you know, in years past, I may have hit those 250, 260, close to 260 marks, but it was like not a lean separate. It was like a soft look. So I've definitely put on some muscle in the last year or two for sure, no question. But yeah, man, I appreciate the bout of confidence you have in me. And the thing is, man, is the way I see it is I'm not the one that decides who wins and who loses. So my whole mindset, and this is just for me, other guys have different mindsets. I've had a different mindset in the past where I was just a competitor. I'm here to beat people and be the best and everybody tell me I'm the best. That's motivating to a lot of people. And it was for me for a while, but it kind of held me back, honest to God, Ron. Yeah, it did, man. And that's good and all, but for me, my mindset is, okay, again, it's not up to me whether I win, lose, or whatever. So I just want to present my very best physique with no limitations. That's why I want to go open. Do I think I could win? Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't be jumping in if I didn't think that I had a great shot at getting that title. But at the same time, you know, without thinking about placings, I'm literally just want to present my very best physique that I can possibly present, especially working with Hani, you know, being 20-time Olympia champion coach. He knows how to make people better and bring out their best. So I just want to do that, man. And I think if I do bring my best, it can be the best. Yeah. But it's not, again, it's not up to me.
Yeah, because I remember this scenario kind of played out, I think it was 3 years ago. Was it 20? Yeah, I believe it was the last time the Olympia was in Orlando. Was that Hadi's first? Was that his first Olympia? When, I don't know, there was whatever it was. Hadi came to San Francisco. He was with Hani, and there was nobody knew if he was going to go 212 or open because he was qualified for both. And they didn't announce it until I think 2 or 3 days out from like the athletes meeting that he was going to go 212.
Oh, really? Yeah, I remember that. Was that 2019?
I think it was. I think it was the last time it was in Vegas, 2019.
Yeah, because I remember that. I was like, oh man, come to 212, man, come to 212. And he didn't. But yeah, that was awesome. I've been a Hadi fan, you know, ever since I seen him you know, a few years back. You know, I was like, oh man, this dude is he's a real deal here. So
yeah, cool. I mean, you know, there's two things. They say, well, you know, Derek would have to qualify for the Open Olympia. I said, hold on. Special invitation. There's always a special invitation clause in Olympia. They have that in their back pocket. They can use it every year or not use it, and they can use it for whatever. It doesn't have to be there's no like bylaws I've ever seen where, oh, it's only in the case of this or that. Like I remember Cedric, God rest his soul, he wasn't able to qualify because his military obligations that year. So they extended the invitation to him. Ramy, he got COVID right before he was supposed to do the European Pro or something, couldn't qualify. They gave him the invitation. He ended up winning the Olympia that year. So if I'm if I'm Dan Solomon and it's in my power to give the invitation to one person, I'm giving it to this guy if you want it. So that way,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
So it could be 3 days out from the Olympia that we find out that's what you're doing.
It'd be, I don't know. It would be nice to know from Hani and whoever makes these calls what I'm doing here, because I'm trying to be my best that I can be, man. So, you know, there's two ways of looking at it, man. Like there's on one hand, as far as the special invitations, I'm going to play both sides of the fence here, man. One side, it's like, look, you got to earn your way, right? And I get that, but I remember back in like 2020, like Ramy's situation, right? Yeah. I myself, as a fan of bodybuilding, who thinks that, you know, earning your way to Olympia is that's, you know, I said, hey, I want to see the best of the best in the world on the same stage. I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. Like he's obviously the best. We all know this, or like not the best, but one of the best. We all know this. And I want to see him stack up against Phil or Brandon or Hottie or whoever at the time. I was thinking that myself. So for any of the haters going either way, like whichever side of the fence you're on, me, myself, I want to see the best of the best on the same stage if it's the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. Yeah. That's how I feel. So yeah, I appreciate that, you know. We'll see what happens, man.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, it's the fans. It's really the fans are the ones who buy the tickets, and it's big bucks. The Olympia is not a cheap show to go to. As you would imagine, it's our Super Bowl. It's pay-per-view. They're the ones who get the pay-per-view. They're the ones who make this sport possible. Ask the fans, would they want Derek Lunsford on the Mr. Olympia stage this year? How many of them are going to say, no, we don't want it? Come on. They all want it. Trust me, if they put it to some kind of vote, I guarantee you, if they had a petition, everybody wants you on that stage this year. You know, I want to, like you, I want to see the best of the best. And it's, unfortunately, it would take away from the 212 show because you're the champion, and not having you in the 212 Olympia would sort of diminish the quality of that because you're the star. But at the same time, I want to see you, Ramy, Brandon, Hottie, Nick Walker, Hunter. I want to see all you guys battling. That's, you know, as a fan, we're greedy. We want to see the best of the best every single time. We don't want anybody missing. So the fans have spoken. I guarantee you they have. Yeah.
That's exciting, man. Yeah, that would be awesome, man. You got a lot of newcomers coming too, man. Like this, you know, people want to talk about open bodybuilding, this and that, but dude, I think it's hit a new wave, man. I'm telling you right now, these next 3 to 5 years, man, I'm guarantee you, like, open bodybuilding is going to be even more massive than it already is. You know, it's the pinnacle, and I think we're hitting a new wave, a new generation where it's going to be lit, man. Yeah.
So I'll wrap this up, the Olympia thing, with just one last, you know, question, observation. If you were going to go open, you would need to know, or Hani would need to let you know, and I'm sure he would, you know, he would, you would have to make a decision, you and Hani together, or Hani, maybe he would make the decision, you know, significantly weeks out from the Olympia, not the last minute, because it could mean the difference between you being ready at 212 versus,
right.
I'm going to throw a number out there, 225. I don't think that's unrealistic at all. You know? Yeah.
I mean, I think personally, given that I know I'm going open and like we're really hitting it hard, I think 225 would be a great number. I think even like a little heavier than that.
Yeah, I was being conservative.
Yeah.
Well, I know Hani's pushes for condition. Yeah. He would want you to be just shredded and dry to the bone. So
yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up the Olympia discussion. And to clarify, guys, Derek never said whether he was going open. Hani never said whether he's doing 212 or open. Nothing has been finalized. No decisions have been made. That's 6 months away from now. So all those clickbait titles you looked at, they were lying to you. Ha! Anyway, let's move on to happier subjects.
Cool.
You got engaged in November to Jelson. Am I saying her name? Jelson.
Yeah.
Who you've been with? That was your girlfriend for many years, since high school, right?
Yeah, man. So actually we got engaged in 2018, I
Oh,
think it was.
geez.
Like, yeah, I believe it was after the Olympia in 2018 or 2019. I can't remember.
Okay. So
Sorry.
well, you know, the wedding.
But
So when was the wedding?
the wedding was this past March, which was just a couple days away from our 11-year anniversary.
Wow, 11 years. And
Yeah.
you're only
So
12 years old.
I know, man, right? Like I've spent almost half my life with this woman. So it's great, man. We've known each other before everything, right? Like before I even graduated high school, she graduated high school. Like we met and instantly it clicked, man. I want to say we fell in love, you know, right away from our first date. I know, you know, being young, you think it's just young love, but truthfully, like I love that woman from the very first date. So yeah, we spent 11 years together. She's been with me since I was about 130 some pounds.
Oof.
And yeah, so
So
yeah.
she didn't just start going out with you because you're this big jack guy. Let's make that
Well,
clear.
which is so crazy, man. Like maybe I should find some of these old pictures of when we first started dating, because she thought I had big arms back then at 130, 140 pounds, man. And it's so funny because she's like, oh my God, I've never seen arms like that before. And I'm like, yeah, 130 pounds, baby.
Man, well, you know.
All right, I don't know if I've ever told this publicly before, but I was that guy that had my jacket on in the truck when I went to pick her up, my Letterman jacket, of course. And so when she gets in the truck, I like take it off, so like, oh, it's hot, you know, and do one of the, I swear I did.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, I mean, were you out of high? You were still in high school, right?
Yeah,
Did,
yeah,
did
it
she go
was.
to the same high school as you?
She lived like 30 minutes away from, yeah, a different school. So I hadn't, honestly, man, I didn't do much in high school besides just go to the gym and go to wrestling practice or camps or tournaments. I was just a completely dedicated wrestler and athlete. So I never really went out and ventured out and met anyone. So whenever I seen her slide into my DMs on Facebook, I was like, oh, who is this?
Man.
Yeah.
So congratulations on the wedding. And, you know, congratulations, especially because I don't know if you know this, but right now, marriage rates and birth rates are the lowest in US recorded history.
Mm-hmm.
Less people are having kids, less people are getting married. I don't want to get people bummed out, but it's like a hookup culture now with a lot of the people in their 20s. You're 20, what are you, 28, 29 now, 28?
Her and I just turned 29. We're like 9 days apart, so we just have, you know, our birthdays.
Still in your 20s. Enjoy your 20s while they last. But
I know it's almost over, bro.
but you know, I really worry about the next generation because, you know, America and any country solidly built on a family structure, you know, a husband, a wife, kids, and that's the way America's been for hundreds of years. And that's been how we've set our morals and our values. So if you take all that away,
right,
and you just have a country full of single moms and a bunch of guys who see their kids once a month, if ever, you know, I don't know. So I really commend you for most people your age. They're just afraid of commitment, or they think it's like it's old fashioned. You know, it took courage for you guys. It really did. And I know you have kind of old fashioned, solid values from, you know, being raised right from mom and dad. But well, he's leaving again.
Gosh dang, people.
Let me text Tani and say stop calling Derek. But
oh man, I think that one was my wife actually. So either one.
So you
they know I'm talking about them. What the heck?
All right. So after that whole buildup, you know, what's your outlook on marriage? Because you must have a positive outlook on it if you stepped into it.
Absolutely. I definitely believe that there should be, you know, a mother and a father in a household. I think that people need to think about whether they're ready to be married too. You know, I've had some friends who have recently split and got a divorce. I've also had friends who, you know, were committed and backed out before the wedding. And it's like, I don't know, man. I just think like when you get engaged or you're thinking about being married and things like that, like really think about like it is a commitment for life. Right. And it is important because if you're getting married, you want to have a family, like it's not just about you, you know. Love to me is not like, oh, she makes me feel good, like she makes me happy, and me, like, right. Yeah, I think we need to be happy and with one another, but I think it's more like, okay, I love her, and I care about her feelings and her life and everything about her as much as I do myself. We are one together. That's what a marriage is bringing two, becoming one. I like to call it like we're a unit, you know, like we're taking on life together.
Yeah.
But no, going back to like what you said, like, you know, being raised right, you know, I don't know what being raised right is, but I am thankful. Like, thank God that I was raised in a church, and not that in a Christian church, I should say. Like, so I you know, that's my upbringing. That is my faith. That is my beliefs, where my morals and values come from.
Yeah.
Have I always had a relationship with God that was, you know, super close and strong? No, there were times where I wanted to live life on my own and do my own thing. And even now, man, it's still a journey, you know, walking with Christ, man. So like, this world's always trying to distract you. You know, I literally tell people, it's like, you can literally one day you have it so solid, like, I got this, God, me and you, man, like, you know, and then you go to bed, you wake up the next day, you're in a hurry, and you just forget, and you stop praying, you stop walking that walk, and or you can even just take a quick little nap, or strike up a conversation with somebody that's you know, that distracts you, or even just flipping through your phone on social media. So everything in this world is trying to distract you and tell you, you know, do life for you, YOLO, you only live once, live it for you, basically, is what they're trying to say. Really, I think we're here to serve God and serve others, and none of us are perfect. That's something that I have to accept, even myself, that sometimes I struggle with, is like, nobody's perfect, so we don't need to be judging one another based on, oh, their sin is wrong, or whatever. You know, no one's better than one another. We all have to give ourselves grace as well as everyone else grace. So just striving to be the best individual that you can be, and loving God and loving others. That's you know, what's deep rooted in me.
Yeah. Something just popped into my head that Hani said years ago. We were talking about Ronnie Coleman, and one of the things that kept him focused and on track, he did have that faith in God. And he said Ronnie was a God-fearing man, and a lot of the people competing at the time, or in general, they thought they were God. You know, they had no, they were the higher power to themselves. And it's crazy to think that that's where we're at in 2022. But all right,
to me, honestly, it's not crazy, man. You almost have to just, I don't want to say expect it, because that sounds like there's no hope. There is hope there, you know, but you know, I'm not surprised, man, because like I said, even myself, I've gotten caught up over the years. I had a different mindset. I could probably throw myself in the same boat, man, and say, like, a couple years ago, I thought I was the man. I thought, oh, you know, all this work I'm putting in, I'm gonna, you know, and I wanted maybe people to put me on a pedestal at one time. Is like, not anymore, man. Like, I am literally just another guy. You know, I like to say I'm Derek from Indiana, living in Florida now, but I'm Derek from Indiana, and I'm blessed to be able to do what I love, and meet a ton of people, and hopefully inspire people to follow their passions, you know, or whatever. So, man, I don't know. I just feel grateful, man. I don't feel like I'm anybody, like we're all just kind of the same, man, you know?
Yeah. So let's switch gears, and we'll end with a little talk about the 212 Olympia. Should you be doing that again? You know, who are the front runners? You know, obviously you're the champion, so you're the man to beat, but who do you consider the top challengers at this point for the title?
Yeah. You know, you know, these two names are coming out of my mouth right off the bat: Kamal and Sean.
Two champs.
Those, two previous champions. And man, I'm telling you, every year they're getting better too. We're all striving to get better. So I see Kamal down here. He's training with Nick a lot of times. He and I haven't trained together just yet, but we're going to. So, you know, he's down here in Tampa. I see him training hard. He's honestly the biggest and probably the best I've ever seen him in an off season. You know, yeah, he looks good right now, and he's working hard. Sean, same thing. You know, everybody knows he's gunning every single day to be the best he can be. Two guys that I want to, actually, before I say that, let me mention Angel, who placed 4th this past year. I've always admired him and his physique. I think he's a good guy, and I think he works incredibly hard. I'm excited to see him as well. He's another guy that's I'm surprised that nobody's talking about him. He won an open show, I believe, and is qualified just like Sean is as well. So Angel is a definite threat, no question. Nathan Eppler, who placed 5th last year, I'm not sure if he's doing 212 or not, but I see him improving. He has a new gym that's in Indianapolis, Indiana, near where I'm from. So if you guys are in the Indiana or Indianapolis area, check out Nathan Eppler's gym. But the 2 guys that I want to really mention that were not in the top 5 last year, and I've been watching closely, one of them, Keon Pearson. Check out this guy. He's got his head right. He's focused. He's training incredibly hard. And if he can nail his conditioning and peak, I think he's going to be a serious threat to the top guys. And then as well as Brazilian's own Lucas.
Lucas Coelho, right?
Yes, sir.
No relation to Natalia.
Yeah. I have been watching him too for the last couple of years. I admire his physique, and he's very ambitious, and he's working his tail off. So these are the guys that I really would look out for. And of course, I'm working my butt off too. So I give credit where credit's due. I'm still a fan of bodybuilding. And once again, I want to see the very best guys at the Olympia battling it out. And if you're a true fan, if you're a true competitor, you want the best of the best to be there, right? And show up at their best, and may the best man win. So that was a laundry list of competitors that I just named. But that just shows you how stacked the 212 lineup is, not just this year, but every year.
So I guess this is the last thing I'll ask. I keep saying that, right?
Hey, I got all day, man. I mean, I got to train here in a little bit, but
okay, we'll be done soon. I mean, so I feel like the Open Olympia doesn't need you as much as the 212 Olympia, just because the Open's got, big stars, and they always get the spotlight. They're always the main event. I feel like 212 needs you more than they do. Do you feel any kind of obligation? Not that it's necessarily going to influence you or Hani's decision on which way to go, but do you feel somehow obligated to stay in that division and be one of the major stars?
I see what you're saying with an obligation. I think at the end of the day, like we talked about earlier, we want to see, as bodybuilding fans, we want to see the bodybuilders improve year after year. Every show that they attend, we want to see them improve. And for me, like I said, my mindset has been to just make the best improvements I can be, come down and be the best 212er. And if or when my physique grows out of the 212, then it does. So once again, I don't know where I'm going to land this year. Again, I'm going to call Hani right after this call, as a matter of fact. I don't know, man. I think the 212, like I just mentioned, I just mentioned like how many guys? Like 7 guys. Yeah. Like it's a stacked lineup in the 212. So I think either way I go, I think if I were to go 212, this is going to be an exciting year in the 212. And I'd be honored to walk away with the title against these awesome champions. Same thing in the Open, man. Like if I could go and do battle and do the same thing in the Open, then, by all means, I'm going to be gracious either way and give my all. So, yeah, man, I think we just got to do, our thing, walk our walk. And as long as we keep improving, I think that the division will fall, or we'll fall in whatever division that we're supposed to be in. And this is true, in my opinion, of the classic guys. I think there's a lot of classic guys that could either be 212 or Open, and they're just kind of holding themselves back in the classic division. So it's almost like a call to action that I have for the classic guys and even the men's physique guys that want to move up to classic. It's like, look, if you want to continue to sculpt and mold and build your physique, do it. I don't think you need to hold yourself back for 10, 15 years when you truly could continue to progress into the next division. I think that's what these divisions are for as well. So I'd love to see a lot of the classic guys go Open. Who knows? I mean, I don't know if Chris Bumstead has ever considered going Open, but how cool would it be, right?
He won't.
Yeah, I know, but think about it. Or what about Breon? Breon going to 212.
Breon is going to 212 after this year, but so the difference between those guys and you is that Breon's going to need significantly more size to be a great 212. Then he's going to have to be bigger than he is now. Same thing with Ruffin. I think Ruffin, if he was bigger, could be a great 212. But you're where you need to be right now to be great on the Mr. Olympia stage.
Right.
If you at 225, 230, you'd be deadly. I mean, what does Hadi weigh? Like 220, 225 at the most?
I actually don't know, but if I had to guess, I'm going to say right around 225.
Yeah.
I could be way off, but I don't know.
He can't be much more than that because he was a 212. He was a 212 and then went to open, and he's not twice the size, but I mean, you know, and I look at you and I wonder how much bigger can this guy get? How much more muscle?
We can get bigger.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, as big as you are right now, I could see you putting like another 10 pounds of pure muscle on before it's all said and done. And I'm being conservative again, because you're not even 30 years old. And, you know, bodybuilders tend to hit their prime between 30 and 35, although these days it's extending. But I mean, I could see you on stage at like 240, you know, shredded to the bone in a few years. That's all right. That was the last question.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
So I'm gonna let you call back your wife and call back Hani. That's okay. It's good to be in demand. So anyway, we've raised a lot of questions we haven't really answered, you know, because those questions aren't going to be answered until many months from now.
Well, I'm sure as soon as we do decide one way or another, it's gonna be crazy. So hopefully I give him a call and he lets me know ASAP, man. Because if he here's the thing, man. If he gives me the green light and we say go, oh man, we're gonna have some fun, man. You know. But if he tells me that we're staying 212, oh geez, here the diet starts tomorrow.
That's what everyone said. It said if he's gonna get down to 212, he's gonna have to start like dropping weight now.
Yeah.
Because that's 260 to 212. It's a lot of weight, dude. It's a lot of weight.
Yeah. Well, it's that wrestling mentality. You know, everybody says, how do you do it? I said, honestly, man, you just put the blinders on, you listen to your guidance, and you just work like hell, man. You just do whatever you got to do, and you execute every single day, and just you pray to God that your weight continues to come down and he gives you the strength and energy to get through the day. So
congratulations on your wedding. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
And, you know, whichever way you decide to go, 212 or open, it's a win-win. Everybody, you know, 212 division wins or open division wins. The fans win either way. I know secretly a lot of fans want you on that Olympia stage. A lot of fans are ready for a new Mr. Olympia. So why not Derek Lunsford? Of course.
Thank you, man.
Nick Walker, if you're watching, you can win too. Absolutely. I believe you have the capability, as do all the top guys. You're all phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know, just like the 212. You, Sean, Kamal, you're all incredible champions. I think on any given day, under the right circumstances, anybody can beat anybody. That's exciting. That's how it should be. I don't like it when just one guy walks out there. It's like, oh, well, show's over. All right, see you guys next year.
You know what I love about it, man? Everybody's hungry. Everybody wants it so bad, man. And you know, there's some guys who understand that they're, you know, maybe a top 10 competitor, but they want it just as bad as the guys, you know, contending for that title. And that, to me, man, that is a deep lineup. And that's in the open. That's in the 212, man. So listen, man, this year's Olympia is going to be wild. I promise, man. It's going to be awesome.
We didn't even mention like Blessing. He's going to be doing some crazy hype and promotion. I guarantee you he will. But yeah, it's an exciting time for bodybuilding. Really is. So much. You young guys, you're really making, thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right. Well, that was the last one. So while he's coming back to the phone, thank you so much for taking the time, Derek. You know, we'll be talking again, I hope, you know, before the Olympia for sure.
Yes, sir.
It's like a half a year away. My goodness.
Crazy, right?
So go ahead.
You gotta come to Tampa, man. You gotta come here. We gotta do something, man.
Well, my daughter lives in West Palm. So that's,
there you go.
I don't know that I can't do. Oh, I'm going to Tampa for the Tampa Pro. I'll be there for that. Yeah. Okay.
I might be. I have to rearrange my schedule because I was going to be out of town at another show, but technically it wasn't going to be at another show. It was going to be for one of my sponsors. It's going to be Gasp and Better Bodies. It's going to be out in Dallas. But I think I'm going to try to go earlier in the week so I can come back for the Tampa Pro. Please. So I can hit both. That's I just found out last night. I was like, oh shoot, that's a Tampa Pro weekend. So I'm going to try to rearrange the schedule and hopefully I'll be at the Tampa Pro. So.
Right on. Yeah. Hope to see you there. All right. Well, in the meantime, continue doing what you're doing. You're doing an incredible job. You are the Olympia champion. you know, so it doesn't get
Thank
better
you,
than
man.
that, guys. So guys,
And
thanks for watching. You got one last thing?
And one more thing too, if you guys, this is a shameless plug here, but if you guys haven't followed me on Instagram or on YouTube, we are really ramping up my YouTube channel right now. So check it out, Derek Lunsford on YouTube, as well as at Derek Lunsford _ on Instagram. Appreciate you guys.
Okay, we'll put that in the graphics too in the beginning and the end. Yeah,
cool.
we always do the Instagram. So that's it, man. Thank you for taking the time. Thanks everybody for watching. Ronline Report with your 212 Olympia champion. And maybe we'll see him on the open stage. Who knows? Derek Lunsford. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Ron.